I'm an old woman now, and I've lived long enough to notice something most people don't see until it's too late. Quiet habits we pick up as we age that slowly push people away. Not because we're bad people,
Not because we don't love our families, but because no one has the heart to tell us the truth. So today, I will. The first habit is constant complaining. Life gets harder, I know. My knees remind me every morning.
but when every word out of your mouth is about what hurts, what's wrong, what's unfair,
People feel drained before the conversation even begins. I once had a friend I'd call every Sunday. Good woman.
but over time, every call became a list: the weather, her neighbors, her digestion. One day, I realized I was hesitating before picking up the phone. That's when I asked myself the hard question: have I become that woman too? The second habit is talking only about your illnesses. At our age, of course, things go wrong. But if every conversation becomes a medical report, people start feeling like they're visiting a clinic instead of a person. We are more than our pain. If you forget that, others will start to forget it too. The third habit is being too opinionated. This one disguises itself as wisdom. We've lived long, we've seen things, and we believe we understand how the world works. But when every conversation becomes a correction or a lecture, people stop opening up to you. I learned this the hard way with my own son. I thought I was helping him. He heard something else entirely that I didn't respect him. After a while, he stopped sharing. There's a difference between offering wisdom and forcing it. If you don't learn that difference, you'll end up talking a lot but hearing very little. The fourth habit is giving unsolicited advice. Even when we're not judging, we insert ourselves where we weren't invited. My daughter once told me about a stressful day, and before she could finish, I was already listing solutions. She went quiet. Later, she said something I never forgot. Mom, I didn't need fixing. I just needed you to listen. Advice is valuable, yes, but only when it's asked for. Otherwise, it's just criticism wearing a polite mask. The fifth habit is criticizing younger generations. Every generation looks at the next and shakes its head. I've done it. We all have. But here's what we forget. Someone once said the same thing about us. When all young people hear from you is disapproval, they don't argue, they simply distance themselves. I noticed this with my grandson. Every time I pointed out what he was doing wrong, he became quieter around me. So I changed. I started noticing what he did well, and slowly he came back. Not because I forced it, but because I made it safe for him to be himself. The sixth habit is living too much in the past. Memories are precious, no doubt. But when every conversation becomes a journey backward, you lose connection with the present. One afternoon, my granddaughter was trying to show me something she was excited about, and I interrupted her with a story from my youth. She smiled politely, but I could see it fade. That moment wasn't about me, and I had taken it away from her without even noticing. The seventh habit is neglecting personal hygiene. This isn't easy to say, but it needs to be said. As we age, routines slip. But this isn't about vanity, it's about respect for yourself and for the people who spend time with you. People may never say a word, but they feel it. And quietly, they create distance. The eighth habit is gossiping and meddling. When your world becomes smaller, it's easy to start focusing too much on the lives of others. It can feel harmless at first, even entertaining. But people begin to wonder what you say about them when they're not around. And meddling is even more dangerous. I once knew a woman who kept involving herself in her son's marriage, offering opinions where they weren't asked. It created a crack that never fully healed. Good intentions are not enough. Sometimes, the greatest wisdom is knowing when to stay silent. The ninth habit is refusing to adapt or learn new things. The world doesn't slow down for anyone. I understand the temptation to say, I'm too old for this. But when you close yourself off completely, you also close the door to connection. I remember resisting when my grandson tried to show me video calling. I told him a phone call was enough, but I could see the disappointment in his eyes. So I tried slowly, awkwardly. And then one day, there he was, smiling at me through that screen as if he were sitting right in front of me. Learning doesn't make you younger, but it keeps you connected to the people you love. That matters more than pride. The 10th habit is playing the victim. Loneliness is real. Feeling forgotten cuts deep. But when you live in that mindset, nobody visits, nobody calls, nobody cares, it becomes a wall between you and others. I lived in that place for a while. But one day I made a small choice. I called an old friend, not to complain, just to ask how he was doing. That one call led to another. And slowly, the silence lifted. Connection doesn't always come to you. Sometimes you have to take the first step toward it. The 11th habit is being financially controlling. You want to help, to feel useful, I understand. But when help comes with strings attached, it stops feeling like love and starts feeling like pressure. Even if you never say it out loud, people can feel the weight of obligation. True giving is quiet. It doesn't demand recognition or repayment. And if you can't give freely, it's better not to give at all, because relationships built on emotional debt rarely stay strong. The 12th habit is refusing help. This looks like strength on the surface, independence, pride, standing on your own. But when you refuse every offer of help, you're not just protecting yourself, you're denying others the chance to care for you. And caring is how people bond. I used to say no constantly. I didn't want to feel like a burden. But what I didn't realize was that I was creating distance. The day I finally said yes, just letting someone help me with groceries, I noticed something. It didn't make me smaller. It made the connection stronger. And the 13th habit is losing your sense of humor. When losses and disappointments pile up, it's easy to let that weight take over your spirit. But when you can no longer laugh, no longer find something light in a heavy day, people feel it. They don't feel drawn in. They feel held down. I once knew a woman, older than me, who had every reason to be bitter, but she laughed easily, even about her own wrinkles and forgetfulness. Being around her didn't feel like visiting someone old. It felt like being with someone alive. So here we are, 13 habits. None of them make you a bad person. None of them mean you failed. They simply mean you're human and still learning. no matter your age. I've recognized some of these in myself, and I'm still working on them. Not all at once, just one at a time. You don't need to become someone new overnight. Just becoming a little more aware, a little more gentle, a little more open, that already changes how people feel when they're around you. If you've listened this far, thank you. Truly. It means you're willing to reflect, and that's something many people never do. Take care of yourself, stay kind, and I'll see you again soon.